Hello and welcome back to Kimchi Rednecks. Today we are in a shiny new kitchen. We're here to cook traditional Korean food, or at least as traditional as we can make it.
Yeah, I'm totally a traditional Korean.
And today we are making
Samgyetang, which is ginseng chicken soup. Koreans like to eat samgyetang on the hottest days of the year, the 3 hottest days of summer, which are called sambok. Well, this is not one of those days, but we want to eat it too. But
it's getting nice and warm outside in the day. We figured it's popular all summer long.
The whole purpose of eating it when it's the hottest days of summer is because eating something hot is supposed to help regulate your body temperature and you're fighting heat with heat.
If it's hot outside and you're warm inside, the temper differential is not as great, so you feel cooler comparatively. Not sure I buy into this, but the soup is tasty.
The soup is tasty, so I mean, when we had it out at that restaurant that we
ate at Goduck,
that was really good. So
that place is good.
I liked it better than chicken noodle soup. So yeah.
And if you have the follow-on, if you have leftovers, you got a little bit of chicken and some soup left over, there is a porridge that you can make, dakjuk, which is spectacular. It's great.
All right, but today we are making samgyetang, and we are using a recipe from My Korean Kitchen, which is where I chose. However, we have done some research.
Internet research. We've cross-referenced with our good friends Mangchi and Sungkyung Longest, and the recipes pretty much line up. One thing that you will notice is that one of our ingredients, this little starter kit, which ours just has ginseng and jujubes in it. Some of these, which apparently you can order online at like Amazon and whatnot, are called starter packs or starter kits, and they come with some of them come with wood chips and pieces of roots and whatnot, and that you're supposed to boil into a broth.
The reason why is because the soup is technically in Korea, it is a medicinal herb soup.
It's called a medicinal soup, yeah.
So a lot of people eat this when they're feeling really tired. It's supposed to energize you. It's supposed to make you feel better. So there are a lot of different options. Like the place we ate had multiple options of samgyetang.
Had 12 different styles of samgyetang.
So there are different options. We're doing a basic version, which I'm perfectly happy with the basic version.
Our kit doesn't come with the extra wood chips and roots because we're not termites.
Or because that's not the kit I chose. I mean, they might have had that kit. I don't know. I was mostly just trying to find ginseng because I already had jujubes at home.
So anyway, on to our ingredient list.
All right, so let's get started. We've got
the most important ingredient in soup, water.
I don't know that I would say in a chicken soup that the most important ingredient would be water.
No water?
Might be the chicken.
No soup.
Maybe. So then we're supposed to have a 1.2 kilogram whole chicken. We found
one that's like 1.45 kilograms. So
a little bit bigger.
But chicken.
Or, I don't know, it could be less once we pull all the crap out.
Could be. It could have big giblets. I don't know.
We don't know. So we got the water, we got the chicken, then we've got the manul, or the garlic.
Yes. So these are whole garlic cloves.
We'll be using about 5 to 6 of those.
Thereabouts.
Then we've got...
So these are steamed and peeled chestnuts that we found. We don't know if that's going to be a problem or not, because I think the recipe calls for just peeled chestnuts.
They may just, instead of being when you eat it, it's usually they melt in your mouth, so they may just melt a lot more. We don't know.
Maybe.
We might use a few extra since they
may just come apart in the broth. Who knows?
Then we have ginkgo nuts, which we've been told by our friend Veronica at Cosmic Cats that don't skip out on the ginkgo nuts. It's totally worth it. These need to be boiled and peeled before we can use them, but that's happening. We've got our kit, which just has the jujube and the ginseng in it.
And then we've got some sweet glutinous rice, or mochi rice, if you know it as that.
You have to soak this. This is about a 1/4 cup of this, and we've soaked it. What we don't have out here on the table right now is our green onions, which we're going to chop. That's for our garnish. So our garnish is usually going to be green onions, and then we'll have a salt and pepper and sesame seed dish
dipping
on the
thing
side.
for the meat. Yeah.
So the most important part right now we've got to start with is getting our chicken cleaned.
All right. So we're a few minutes in here. We have done some ginkgo nuts here. We had to soak them in some hot water to loosen them up and get the outsides off of them, but we're good on that one now. Now, it's time for the chicken.
It's time for Chuck to give that chicken a massage and get rid of his giblets. Right. Isn't she beautiful?
Purdy. Still got a neck on it.
All right, so you have to wash it, but you also have to get out.
So this Korean one does not have
Sweet. So you just have to clean it then.
Yeah, we just have to clean it. There's some, I mean, it wasn't really well done. There's some stuff floating about in there, but...
And remember, you want to cut off, I think both Samgyetang and Mangchi cut off a lot of the chicken fat and then the tip of the wing.
Yeah, the very wing tip there. There we go. All right, so wing tips. It's also really hard to hold on to a raw chicken.
Yeah.
Try not to lose any fingers in this process.
This is why you're doing that and not me, remember?
Chicken flaps. So these chunks of fat like this are good for making stock if you're making stock.
But it will cause a lot of scum and crap in your water if you're actually just trying to make the soup. We are going to add stuff to make the stock, so we don't have to worry about that. We got bouillon.
Yeah, that stuff.
Better than bouillon.
That fancy word. All right. Oh, there we go. All right, so the purpose behind this, from at least one of the videos we saw, is...
to clean it up.
To kind of scour the chicken, use it as an abrasive. It helps you get into the...
Basically, it gives you the cleaner skin and takes a little bit of the crap that would have come into your broth as the chicken cooks.
I want to give me a little more. I'm still kind of... There we go.
He says a little, I dumped like half a...
That's fine. Like I said, they didn't do a super good job of cleaning the innards. There's still some stuff stuck to the side.
Well, that's why you clean the chicken, to make sure everything's where you want it before you stuff it, right?
Yep.
So now most Samgyetang places, when they're making this, they cook multiple chickens at the same time. So since we're only cooking one, that's why we're adding the bouillon, because we won't have the super chicken like broth because we only have the one chicken. I'm gonna rinse it out now. That chicken has touched things.
This chicken's touching everything.
She's clean. That fresh new chicken skin.
Chickalicious.
It's chicken.
And now we are opening chestnuts. This bag is actually really tightly vacuum sealed.
May, what do you think about all this? She is very interested in this. She has not given up on her interest of the Samgyetang.
All right, so what was the recipe?
4.
4? All right, well, this is going to be kind of a guess because these are super mashed together.
Yeah, just stick a clump in there.
Because I think that we're going to do like 1 or 2 in the chicken and the rest goes in the broth. All right. Get that way up in there.
So from what we understand, the more jujube, the more it discolors the broth is what we were told, or what we saw in the video, but I really like jujube, so we're sticking way more jujube than that in there.
Well, they also kind of layered it. They did the stuff and then they did some rice and then they did some more stuff and a piece of garlic. And then another jujube.
Did you get a ginkgo nut in there yet?
No. I'll put some chestnut. Get all the...
We peeled those ginkgo nuts. Put them in there.
Grab a couple of those. Get them up in there. All right. We're getting to the end of the cavity. So if I can remember how this works.
It's like pierce a little bit of the chicken skin and put the leg through the slit.
Yeah. So I think that's how it was. So we're going to make a hole there.
Then you thread the leg in through the little slit that you made.
Or you just bust through it and everything falls out. Get in there.
It's probably hard to do with gloves on.
All right, well, that's one.
Hold on. So, I grabbed a food grade rubber band.
Melissa just remembered she has these.
So, Chuck is now going to try and rubber band these babies together.
That's not real secure looking.
Well, you probably have to do more than one loop.
Do that.
That'll work. that'll work.
All right, so we've also seen several videos that you can use toothpicks to hold things together, but I don't think we have any.
We don't own toothpicks.
So we're gonna redneck engineer this chicken together.
We have redneck engineered that together, and now we're going to put it in the pot, to our nice Korean pot. And then Chuck is going to put the rest of the stuff in there, and we're gonna add water. All right, so we've added in all our extra stuff just because, well, we had to do something with it.
Yeah, we threw it all in there.
And Chuck has added our water.
So that's 1.5 liters of water.
And now we are going to boil the pot on medium-high heat and then cover it for 20 minutes.
So we got fire on pot, and we're cooking.
Yay!
So this dipping mix, which is pretty much the default thing that you serve with samgyetang, it's easy to make. It's a tablespoon, a big spoon of salt, a teaspoon of pepper, and optionally half a teaspoon of sesame seed that you kind of crush between your fingers and sprinkle it in.
And Mongchi, I think, adds sesame oil to hers.
Yeah, so yeah, we have seen some variations of this where they add sesame oil to it and mix it up to make it kind of a paste, but generally I've seen it served this way.
That's how we're doing it today.
Yeah, it's just chopped green onions. I'm pretty sure that
it garnishes everything in Korea.
All right, so here we've been cooking for 20 or so minutes. So we just reduced the heat down to medium low, so it's going to simmer for the next, what was it, half hour?
40 minutes.
Okay, so 45 minutes. So one thing that we have already noticed, because we threw the rest of our jujubes and our ginkgo nuts in there, because what else were we going to do with them? You can see that it has changed the color of the soup. It's not going to be quite as clear. It's going to be a little darker colored. We're fine with that, but it's not quite as traditionally acceptable. But it won't change the flavor much. So anyway, now we got this on a simmer, and it's going to be that way for the next 45 minutes or so. All right, bagels and baguettes. Here we are, 45 minutes in, and...
Well, 45 minutes later.
Well, 45 minutes later. It's already on.
Okay.
So, yeah, we got fire on it. So we have transferred the chicken into the biggest tteokbokki that we own, which it barely fit. So now we got stuff transferred over. Did you want to see about getting the garlic and all that down there?
Do what now?
Did you want to see about getting any of the garlic or the jujubes down in there?
You mean just transferring everything over to the pot?
Yeah. So, fortunately, the amount of jujubes we had in there did not really overly color the flavor of the...
Ours would have probably been more...
Or the look of the broth.
Yeah,
so.
It would have been more clear, probably, if we hadn't used the chicken bouillon, but...
Chicken bouillon, yeah.
I kind of wanted the chicken bouillon, so...
Everybody loves a good, deep chicken flavor.
Well, I was worried about the chicken flavor not being as deep since we used
one
chicken.
So, we have a little fire under the tteokbokki there. We're going to bring it up to a light bubble, and then we're going to transfer it over to the table.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so here's a good view of it coming to a boil. We don't want to get too hot because we actually have to
eat it.
To eat it, so we're going to grab that and bring it over to the table real quick. All right, we are finally at the table.
Hey, it's a good thing we have a bar-sized table.
Yeah. So, we have managed pot of ginseng soup.
Chicken ginseng soup.
Pot of samgyetang. So,
things to note when you're eating jujubes.
There are seeds inside them, so be careful on chewing those.
Also, because it's a whole chicken in there, you're gonna have bones.
There's little bones,
so
there's big
always
bones.
Be careful when you're eating a soup like this that has bones in it.
There's cartilage from the joints.
Be very careful.
It's gonna be in there. So let's see if I can get a little bit of the juice out first. We filled it up to make it pretty for the photo.
Technically, this is only my second time eating this soup. Did you know that?
All right, so that gets some of the juice out of it. No, I did not know this was only your second time.
Yes, because we've only had it once since you've gotten here to Korea again the second time.
Now that's right. And that one place that we went because we thought it was going to be Samgyetang turned out to be
Something completely
something else.
But
yeah.
Miss Kim took us to that great Samgyetang place.
So, first off, you can see we got le ginseng, which I'm going to set to the side. You can actually eat this.
Le ginseng or le squid is what it looks like.
So, first off, that's hot. Is the chicken cooked? I think so.
It's fall off the bone cooked.
Now, first important thing obviously is to check the meat. So it shreds real easy, that's good.
And it's the right color.
So we're going to give it a quick taste.
Don't forget to use your little salt and pepper.
Yes. One thing that's important to remember about this mix, do not dunk in it. You just want to, just the tip. That's all you need. Ooh, that was still kind of strong.
Strong as in hot?
No, I mean I got a little more salt on there, salt and pepper than I wanted. It's a very strong flavored seasoning. You don't need a whole lot, just a little bit in there.
All right, so we're coming back to the chicken now.
Yeah. So, one of the most important things about Samgyetang is getting to the stuff on the inside.
And making sure that that is done as well.
Yes.
Now, if you chose to make this and you wanted to pull the chicken apart, you could always do that before
Yeah, we could always
serving.
shred this if we wanted.
Yeah.
So, ooh, we got a little
Those are ginkgo nuts.
ginkgo nut, little ginseng.
So ginkgo nuts look a little more green when they're fully cooked.
Got a little
You got a little chestnut.
chestnut. It held up pretty well, so I think we're going to be okay there. And then our sweet rice. So,
All right.
gonna get that, get a little juice in it. All right. Try not to burn your soul. This stuff's fresh off the cooker. Oh, that's hot.
Yeah, we'll blow on it a little.
We're trying to do the whole mouthful, but that's a lot of hot.
That's a lot of hot.
Oh, sweet rice.
How'd we do?
The sweet rice and chestnut's good. Ginseng and ginkgo nut's good.
The rice is cooked?
Oh yeah. Ginkgo nut has a very sharp aftertaste to it, by the way.
Yes. I tried a ginkgo nut and it wasn't cooked yet. I was not a fan of it not cooked.
And the broth in and of itself is pretty good. Might could use a little bit of salt to finish on it, but then again we got our mix.
Well,
so.
you can. The other thing is you don't have to use that mix as, dipping. You can add that to that as well.
Let's get a little bit of, get you a little bit of chicken and a little bit of rice. And we'll get you some onion there. Just a little bit of, all right. Come on.
All right, hold on. Got to set this back down. We did good. That is everything that I loved about the samgyetang that we ate at the, I think it was Tojong samgyetang.
Something like that, yeah.
All right, I got a jujube. Jujubes are pretty good, actually. The jujube gives it just a little. It's not a super sweet fruit, but it's just a touch, just a.
It reminds me of like something somewhere halfway between like a raisin and a date, or a fig maybe.
It definitely has a good flavor. Oh, I stole your spoon.
Might be closer to a fig.
I stole your spoon. I'm sorry.
So, we are happy with this. This is a good outcome. We didn't manage not to screw it up.
We managed to make it just like we hoped it would be.
Oh yeah. Ah. My drink's in the way of my.
I move your drink just slightly. You all right there? I'm looking for a chestnut. I think that's a chestnut.
The jujube was hot. I think chestnut does work well with the rice.
It does.
I don't know that I would put it in the main soup itself, but packed in there with the rice and the meat.
I see why Veronica said don't skip on the ginkgo nut. That's good. The ginkgo nut is good. It definitely is less bitter than when I tasted it when it was fresh.
She tried one raw and was like, nope.
Nope. It's got a really good flavor to it.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll link a recipe down below. Fortunately, you can order the starter pack for this online and get it pretty easily. Give this a try. This is good stuff.
Honestly, after I had it the first time, I think my reaction was very simple. It was, I'd rather have this than chicken noodle soup when I'm sick.
For something so watery, it still feels hearty.
I can see why Koreans say it makes you feel good. So
it does take a bit of doing. It's not going to be a...
Typically when it's served here in Korea, like, they would be much smaller chickens, but everybody gets their own chicken in their own bowl.
Yeah.
So this is a very large tteokbokki that we have this in. So if we were at a restaurant, it'd be a smaller tteokbokki with your own chicken in. And I think last time, I don't think I finished all my food either.
Instead of ours that was like 1.4 kilograms, you can get them in the grocery store. They're like 700, 800 grams, which is roughly about half the size of this one. But yeah, cook y'all up some of this. It's good stuff.
And make sure you eat it on the hottest days of the year. Yeah.
And there's a good follow-on because we wound up with a lot of broth left over.
Yeah, we're going to be making some dakjuk.
So whatever we don't eat of the chicken, we'll shred up. We'll soak some more of that sweet rice and cook it up in there and make some rice porridge.
No, we also have to chop up some zucchini and carrots.
Yeah, zucchini and carrots go in it.
Get some mushroom.
Oh, mushroom's good in it too,
Yeah.
yes.
So,
So,
like, subscribe, do the internet thing.
we'll see you around.
We might have done this a few times before.
Just a couple.
Just a few. We'll see you next time.